The afternoon sun slanted through the tall windows of the community art room, warming the wooden tables scattered with craft supplies. Paper scraps, globs of glue, and half-used markers lay everywhere like colorful debris after a tiny, cheerful storm. Mira stood in the center of the room, her fingers dusted with glitter, staring at the towering cardboard structure she had been working on for the past hour. It was supposed to be a simple model house, something neat, tidy, and straightforward, but somehow it had grown crooked walls, an accidental turret, and a doorway shaped like a lopsided oval. She sighed, brushing a strand of hair out of her face as the smell of glue filled the room. The timer on the wall ticked steadily, reminding her that she had only 20 minutes left before everyone would gather to present their creations. The thought made her stomach twist. Everyone else seemed to know exactly what they were building. Across the room, Amran and Zoya were laughing as they added a tiny balcony to their cardboard mansion. Saim had built a miniature lighthouse so perfect it looked store-bought. Even Hamza, who usually rushed through everything, had created a tiny cardboard boat floating on a blue paper lake. And then there was her, standing in front of a house that looked like a startled creature frozen mid-transformation. Mira rested her hands on the table and leaned close to inspect the turret. She hadn't meant to add it at all, it had been extra cardboard she didn't want to waste. But now the tower stuck out awkwardly from one side, making the whole structure seem unbalanced. She gently pressed on the roof, hoping it would magically settle into place. Instead, the entire left wall wobbled dangerously. "Don't fall," she whispered, half to the cardboard, half to herself. From the corner of her eye, she noticed someone approaching. Mr. Ansari, the instructor, walked slowly between the tables, smiling at each project as he went. His white beard twitched with every amused grin. When he reached Myra's table, he paused, his hands clasped behind his back. "This is quite a house," he said warmly. Mira bit her lip. It wasn't supposed to be like this. He crouched down slightly, studying the structure. And what was it supposed to be? A normal house. You know, straight walls, flat roof, square windows. She gestured vaguely at the mess of uneven lines and asymmetrical features. "Not whatever this is." He nodded thoughtfully, then touched the turret lightly with one finger. "Sometimes," he said, "what something becomes is more interesting than what we planned." Her shoulders sagged, but everyone else made something good. "They made something safe," he replied. "You made something brave." Mira blinked at him. "Brave?" He pointed to the turret. "You didn't stop when it looked different from the others. You kept building. That's bravery in creativity." She stared at her odd little house again. Under different light, she could almost imagine it was meant to look this way, like a quirky storybook home belonging to an eccentric inventor or friendly witch. The uneven walls gave it character. The turret gave it mystery. "I don't know if anyone will like it," she murmured. "Mr. Ansari smiled and patted the table gently. "Make sure you like it first. The rest will follow." He moved on to check another group's project, leaving Mira standing quietly beside her creation. She let out a slow breath and touched the turret again. The cardboard felt soft and warm under her fingertips. Maybe she had been fighting it too hard, trying to force it into something ordinary when it wanted to become something unexpected. She picked up her marker and stepped closer, determination settling into her chest. If this house was going to be strange, then she would embrace its strangeness fully. She drew wavy patterns on the walls, little stars around the windows, and curls of vines climbing the doorway. She added a crooked chimney to match the crooked roof, and tiny circular windows to complement the odd-shaped entrance. With each new detail, the house looked less like an accident and more like a world of its own. When the timer beeped sharply, everyone in the room froze, then began gathering their projects. Mira lifted her house carefully. It wobbled but held. As she carried it to the front table, she caught a few curious glances from her classmates. One or two kids even leaned forward to get a better look. She set it down gently, stepped back, and, surprisingly, felt a smile pulling at her lips. It was weird. It was crooked. It was absolutely not what she had intended. But it was hers.